The boys are still on their winter break, but we'll be back next week. Until then, here's another classic episode. This time, Joe Hesselman from the Lost Cause Ranch joins Steve as guest host. And now, here's the show.
It's the Underpowered Hour. On this week's show, we're joined by guest host Joe from Lost Cause Ranch. We talk about his adventures across the Midwestern United States, Series Rovers, Freelanders, and even Menards. And now, here's the show. Welcome to the Underpowered Hour. I'm Steve Beres, mild-mannered television executive by day and Land Rover collector by night. You can find out more about our cars and what we're working on at theberescollection.com or follow us on Instagram at theberescollection. I'm joined, as always, by my good friend, Ike Goss.
Thank you to everyone joining us today. I own and operate Pangolin 4x4 in Springfield, Oregon, where we live and breathe Land Rovers. Check us out online on Facebook, Instagram at Pangolin 4x4. Let's get started.
All right, Joe, welcome back to the show. Our good friend Joe from the famous Lost Cause Ranch.
Happy to be here.
Infamous, maybe. Infamous.
Oh, yeah, that's probably closer. Yep.
Well, it's good to have you. Thanks for helping out today. As again, Ike is somewhere in the bush of South Africa. We got a listener correction. Apparently, it is not a tribe of monkeys. It is a troop of monkeys.
Oh, a troop.
So, troop of monkeys.
Good to know.
Yeah, we got a listener correction. So, it's important that we
set the record straight.
Yeah, absolutely. So hopefully Ike is slowly making his way back to North America. But in the meantime, Joe, it's good to see you, and thanks for joining the program this morning, giving us a hand getting this ship into port, such as it is. So.
I mean, I'm no replacement for Ike, but we'll try.
Depends on who you talk to, I guess. So in the news this week, there apparently, according to the drive.com website, which is a UK website, they have chosen the Land Rover Defender as the best SUV under 150,000 pounds. They're big fans, and I mean, I guess if you said 150,000 pound, which is nearly what, $180,000 lid, sure. I mean, lots of stuff fits in there.
So they might not have been talking about the Octa, though.
Yeah, I think it's just right underneath where you could get an Octa. But it's funny because the fact sheet, they say the price ranges from $92,000 to $317,000. So kind of a wide open. I want to know where this $317,000 model is. I want to know which.
That would be something to see.
A $300,000 new Defender. Be pretty nice. We'll have to get the Sarek folks to whip up one of those for me. I bet Ralph could figure it out. He could get an extra $220,000 worth of shit on the outside of that thing. It'd be awesome. I think Bob Steele has spent about that much, but I think probably $150,000 of that is fixing things that he has broken. So he's almost replaced the car at this point, I think, in replacing broken parts, but well worth it. Having a hell of a time out there. So speaking of events and things, you have been traveling the country, showing up as a celebrity guest at all kinds of events all up and down the East Coast. So I know you spent some time with Liza and Jenna at an event not that long ago. So how was that?
That one was good. That was the closest one we've been to us. That was in Minnesota, so at least it was in the neck of the woods. Mm-hmm. So it was only an 8-hour trip, but no, that was a fun event and a great program put on by Liza and Jenna out there too. And such a neat area. It was an old iron ore mine. You get quite a bit different terrain than a lot of people are used to.
It's nice, really cool, yeah.
Sharp, jagged rocks. I still have wheels that are stained red. Tires will never be not red.
Right, it sticks with you. Oh, that's cool. What vehicle did you bring out there? I don't remember now. Did you have the Eco Challenge car, or which one did you bring out?
I took the free LR4. The one that
was
donated because of the timing chain issue.
That's
right. So that made its first out-of-town journey.
And how did it run? You happy with the free car that just needed?
It was worth every penny.
Hours of work. Yeah, exactly. Right. Yeah, right. Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a good thing my labor is cheap.
Yes.
But
right. Yeah.
But no, it ran fantastic, and to do timing chains in a 5-liter, Land Rover. They're marginally better than normal. But
Marginally better, yeah. I've never owned that era of Land Rover from about Discovery 2 to the new Defender, or I guess technically the new Discovery. There was a period of time there where I, for whatever reason, just didn't have a new Land Rover. As, traditionally Liza drives a new one, and I'm relegated to ones from the 1950s. But obviously a ton of people that have those cars, they really like that generation of Land Rover.
It is kind of the end of an era, in my opinion. It's still the boxy shape. It's still a very utilitarian. A lot of cargo room, great off-road capability. It just, with age, they can hurt the pocketbook if you don't have the correct person to work on them and maintain it. I mean, an LR3 gets you 90% of the way to there to an LR4 with much more reliability, and the 5-liter power is nice.
Right. No, I know John Costa just got an LR3 not that long ago, I guess, a while ago now, but yeah, he just raves about it. He really likes it. He's a big fan. I would like to get a Nick Dimbleby edition LR3, which is the diesel engine and the
manual
transmission. Yeah.
That would be the way to go. We got robbed over here.
It's too bad, and I don't even know. I mean, it's going to be a long time before one of those can come over here, but I don't think there was. I mean, there ought to have been a country that had them in left-hand drive. I'm sure there was, Italy or something must have gotten them in left-hand drive, Spain or something. That'd be the one to get. I think that'd be really cool.
Well, yeah, and by the time you can get it, it is old enough for you to drive it and not Liza.
That's right, exactly. It's shitty enough for me to drive it. So that's the criteria there, yeah, because if it's too nice, Ike has never learned to drive a car with an automatic transmission. I just can't seem to drive cars with seatbelts. That's my
that's the cutoff.
As soon as I started putting seatbelts in the minute, it just ruined the whole driving experience. So, yeah, but thankfully I can only go 40 miles an hour. So what's the worst that could happen? I mean, again, in a crash in an 80-inch, you want to be thrown free of that wreckage anyways. You don't want to be stuck in there. Yeah, you want to make sure you get ejected far down the road, but that's cool. Yeah. So, what was the next event then you went to? It was just recently, right?
Well, we did one in between there. We did Alabama in October. Yeah. So we went down and did the Gulf Area Rover ROM, and that was a blast too. Once again, we got to see some completely different terrain. Yeah. It was ocean and sand, and we still have sand with us from Alabama as well. So everywhere we go, we seem to bring a little bit back.
Yeah, you bring a little bit home with you. I love it. That's a part of the country I have never spent any time off-road in at all. It's just really interesting. And it's so cool that there's these clubs in every region. And if you wanted to, I mean, I suppose, like Bob Steele, you could travel the country just going to different Rover events. Yeah,
make your rounds. And last year, Anarch did a great job in spreading stuff around the country, too, with the 3 main events. So it gave everyone who wanted an opportunity to see different areas a good opportunity for that.
Oh, circling back to the Minnesota one, did you spend some time with Astro Bob? And was it in fact just Bob Steele pretending to be an astronomer?
So I actually missed out on Astro Bob. So I came in that night, and then we did the infamous night water crossing.
I heard about that, the 12-hour-long night water crossing.
Yeah, I didn't realize Astro Bob was going to extend his stay there because we missed his original time slot, but he was gracious enough to stay and show everyone who did that for the fact. But I went to bed because I drove 8 hours up there, and then I did a 12-hour water crossing 15 minutes after we showed up.
That's what I heard, and I heard that Justin had a brand new Lucky 8 Defender or something that was just Brillo padded through poor Justin.
It was narrow.
Yeah, that's what I heard. That was a little tough. That's pretty funny. But that's cool. It's neat that like you can do all of that stuff in a place like that. But yeah, too bad. Well, maybe we'll have to get Astro Bob to come down, maybe do an in-house session for you there at the ranch.
Yeah, we can see the stars here too. So.
Yeah, the Lost Cause Planetarium there. It's an ever-expanding empire out there, let me tell you.
Exactly.
Yeah, if there is an observation tower available at Menards, then we're good to go.
We could do that, yeah.
I go hunting every year in South Dakota with my dad over Thanksgiving. The hotel, the very classy Holiday Inn Express we stay at, is right across the street from a Menards. Every year, I have to go to Menards. I just walk around because I'm like, I hear throughout the year so much about Menards on Joe's channel that I feel like it's a pilgrimage that I have to take. So
yeah, I think it's 4 or 5 trips a week. I mean, you cannot do a single project without at least 3 trips to Menards.
To Menards, yeah. It is a magic place, let me tell you. For those on the West Coast, we just had no idea what we're missing out on. You think it's just like, oh, it's like Lowe's or Home Depot or something, but oh no. No, it's something quite different.
Oh, yeah.
You got all kinds of stuff. It's a really fun Midwestern. There's also the place with the cheese curds, the hamburger place, the Butterburger.
Oh, Culver's.
Culver's.
Culver's,
Yes.
yeah, that's we're right across the river from that. Yep.
Right. There's a Culver's right across the street from this Menards. It's like I couldn't be more in the Midwest if I tried. So it's
Double experience.
I mean, I think though technically is South Dakota still considered the Midwest? I don't know.
You're right on the edge.
Yeah, you definitely are. I mean, in so many ways, I think in South Dakota, you're right on the edge there. Somebody asked me like, oh, well, bird hunting, like isn't that, there's 1 million people in South Dakota and there's 3 million pheasants. So I don't think anybody could possibly make a dent in that pheasant population. It's not possible. You couldn't do it. But yeah, great folks there in South Dakota, and they got it all. They got your Culvers. They got your Menards.
What else could you need?
Yeah, a Cabela's the size of like an aircraft hangar. They got it all. They got it all. A little place called Mitchell, South Dakota. That's where we go.
Corn Palace.
The Corn Palace. It's amazing. It's crazy. I had no idea. Like what an idyllic little town. So lots of fun. And great pheasant huntings down there at the Hunter's Dream, which is a little outfit there where they've got a bus all dressed up and all this sort of. It's a lot of fun. Right. Good times, some good Midwestern, good time, maybe Southern, we don't know, but whatever, it doesn't matter. So then this most recent trip that you took, there was talk about maybe taking it in the Freelander, but ultimately cooler heads prevailed, it sounds like.
Yeah. Well, the Freelander is currently where Freelanders like to be.
Oh, yes.
In the shop,
right.
Tore apart.
Right. So what's the issue, the current issue? I mean, again, it's not like it's a solvable problem, it's an ongoing rolling downhill blaze of issues, but what's your current Freelander situation?
Well, so my Freelander, I bought a little 3-door Freelander from
my favorite one.
Oh, it was from a corner used car lot in Cicero, Illinois.
Okay.
I show up and it was parked on the street, so this is that nice of a facility. Yeah. But I get it, and it has a little engine noise, and which that happens. Thankfully, it appears to just be a lifter noise, and after pulling the cam cover off, we were able to see why, and it has 123,000 miles now, and I think it's had 1.5 oil changes in its lifetime. So built up sludge. So currently, I have the cylinder heads off, and we're giving it a fresh clean on everything, and new set of lifters, all new gaskets. So nice. It never broke. I mean, the throttle body did, but the engine never broke, which is surprising for the V6.
It is. Yeah, that's a unicorn engine you have there. How are your timing belts? Are they in okay shape?
They will be when I put the new ones on.
Right, exactly. Yes, yeah. I have to say that is, I don't know, you have far more experience with a variety of vehicles than I ever will, but the fact that it has this dual timing thing, one on the front, one on the back, like that seems to me to just be really stupid. And I know Land Rover didn't build that engine, that they sourced it, but still, like, what a terrible engine, especially when you transversely mount it so the rear timing belts are inaccessible under basically any circumstances.
And then the front timing belt, we go ahead and put the entire front of the engine and engine mount, bolt it through the timing belt. So you have to remove the entire, you might as well remove the engine.
Just pull the engine out. Yeah, two timing belts. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's quite the thing. I mean, even just the O2 sensors and Liza and I's journey through replacing those things, it's absurd. I mean, it's a consumable part. You'd think that'd be pretty easy to get to, but I don't know if they were made by like tiny miniature people or something at JLR at the time, like there were children working there maybe, but that's the only arms that fit in there. Thank God Liza has elf arms.
Well, I got small hands too, so fortunate, very fortunate. That's the only reason it's getting accomplished anyways. Oh, that would explain a lot if it was miniature people.
Tight and absurd, the way that car is laid out. But man, for the brief periods of time when they are working, too much fun. Just really a fun car.
And you take that rear roof off and it's just a blast.
I really want, obviously Nick Dimbleby was on the show last week and we were talking about his yellow 3-door. Again, everybody has a 3-door. I have to I got to get on sourcing myself a 3-door, as my 4-door only works about 10% of the time. So
then you'd have 20%. Yep.
That's exactly right. Yeah. I just have to get like 10 of them. And then at some point, one of them is bound to be, at least drivable. So, but yeah, I do love 3-door.
I need to check out what Nick was talking about with his little sun cap deal.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, that would be fantastic.
I've never heard of that. I didn't even know that was something they made. Yeah, we got to figure out. Maybe there's an aftermarket for some repros of those, of those caps for the 8 people that still have that car. So at some point, I've talked to John and Harold for years about going and getting John's crushed Freelander for parts, but I've not made it out there. A long journey. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's the Jerry McGovern of it all. Maybe it's the first kind of vehicle of its kind, but there's just something kind of joyful about the Freelander that doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
But,
and I jokingly say it's my favorite Land Rover, but it's closer to the truth than I like to admit.
I think that's true of everyone. And I think if you haven't admitted that to yourself yet, it's only a matter of time. I think it's everybody's deep down. It's everybody's favorite Land Rover. I mean, listen, I have many favorite Land Rovers for different reasons. Certainly a Land Rover of that kind, it's my favorite. There you go. And hey, some of the biggest Land Rover collectors in the world, Phil Bashel, he is a huge fan of the Freelander. That guy's got so many Freelanders, it doesn't make any sense. He's got barns full of Freelanders all over the Midlands. He's the world authority on collectible Land Rovers, so...
And can't argue that. And the Freelander has a big part in Land Rover's history on kind of pulling them out of an era, the late 90s, early 2000s. I mean, the mass amount of those that were able to be sold and produced versus the rest of them. I mean,
it's totally true. Yeah, it's the Porsche Cayenne of Land Rover. I don't know what Land Rover would look like today if it wasn't for the Freelander, both literally and figuratively, because, it was, of course, Jerry's first intro into the Land Rover community. And the funny thing is it looks the least like a Ford Explorer of like any car ever built. So I don't know why. I would be totally fine if new Land Rovers looked like the Freelander, like really didn't just look smooth, but like the Freelander looks really cool. It has a really neat, it has a really neat shape. And then the Mercedes G series or whatever they are, GL series, whatever the hell they are, the ones that were used in Jurassic Park and stuff, they were very much like styled off the Freelander. And of course, is it the CRV or the RAV4 of that same era that looks like almost the same?
RAV4, well, I mean, you mix those two together and you got a Freelander.
You get a Freelander, yeah. Exactly. Yeah. No, I'm a big fan, man. There's no shame in it in my books. I think if you don't yet own a Freelander, it's time to get out there to a local used car lot and just don't ask any questions. Just put down the money, bring it home, and just start learning how to change timing chains or timing belts. It's going to happen. So you couldn't take the Freelander, unfortunately, because it's in a restorative phase, let's say, one of what I'm sure will be many. What did you end up bringing, rather, down to this most recent event?
So we took Ted's 1966 Series 2A.
Now we're talking. Now you're talking my language. That's just the right amount of stupid. Because this, if I'm not mistaken, is a winter event, yes?
Yes. Yeah, I mean, so this particular Land Rover lived its entire life in Arizona up until 2 years ago. So it is the perfect thing to introduce to a bunch of snow and salt.
I was going to say, you're catching up on the rust that it didn't get up to this point. So
perfectly clean one.
Yeah.
So why not drag it halfway across the country through a snowstorm?
Do it. Yeah, fantastic. So this is a standard, sort of bog standard 88. Is there anything, have you guys done any kind of upgrades or anything to it to make it more insulated? It doesn't have a working heater.
So we were on a short time frame and we had a little challenge with Justin from Lucky 8 and Ralph Therick from Therick Auto Work, and they both brought their series Land Rovers as well. So we kind of threw this together in winter prep mode in about 9 days beforehand. So we did some unique stuff. We put some windows back in it, which is very useful.
That's a good thing to do. Good place to start. Yeah.
It was missing one Alpine window, a couple quarter glass, and then one driver's door glass. So more weather tight. And then, I mean, a
little bit more.
Fresh air.
A little bit more. Yeah. Yeah. A little bit more. Sure.
Then to help out with that too, the factory little heater wasn't quite working. So we mounted
That's startling.
We mounted a diesel heater in the back in case it got too cold.
Yeah.
But surprisingly, throughout the trip, the weather in Maine was 40 degrees warmer than the weather in Iowa.
Holy smokes.
So it actually worked out perfect. We went the right direction, apparently.
Yeah, that's right. Wow, that's fantastic.
Then on top of that, we just updated the suspension. It was a little loose. Alabama was the first time we ever used that one. And at speed, it was a little scary. By speed, we mean 35 miles an hour.
35 miles an hour. Yeah. That's a blistering pace for an old 2A, but well, that's great. And so what did, for those who haven't seen the videos, and if you, for whatever reason, listen to this show, but haven't gone to YouTube to watch the Lost Cost Ranch, if you look at that Venn diagram, it's just a circle, I would imagine.
I imagine it overlaps perfectly.
I can't imagine that there is anyone, but for those edge cases where maybe you have it, absolutely head over to YouTube and check out the Lost Cause videos on this event. But Justin's series car is in pretty great shape. They've done a really nice job on that one. And what did Ralph bring to that party?
We could call it a series, I think. But Ralph had what is probably the most entertaining Land Rover I've seen in quite some time. It was a customer car at some point that he acquired or ended up with. And the underpinnings are essentially a zoo, including the drivetrain, the frame, the front suspension. The rear frame was made from something.
Yeah.
We don't quite know. And then
some
it was
barnyard metal or something back there. Yeah.
And then it was equipped with some side-by-side tires. So some nice ATV tires.
Yeah.
It was quite the riot.
Yeah.
And then but nothing more entertaining than watching someone drive something like that without a care in the world.
That's right. Nothing more capable than a car that either isn't yours or you genuinely don't care about. Those extremely, extremely capable. I certainly remember a Honda Rabbit back in the day that was incredibly capable off-road. Well, that's awesome. Yeah. And so what was the outcome of this, of the big challenge for those who haven't seen the video series? But
Justin is working on the final video right now, and that will be released soon.
Excellent.
It might have gone well for me.
That's what we like to hear. Sometimes it's just brute force over quality. Justin and I are working on a little project that hopefully he's on the show here to talk about very soon. And I know you'll be very interested in. I'm sure will be. So
there's one getting refreshed for that project.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun. We're going to see. So so stay tuned for that. Justin's going to come on here real soon, and we'll talk through that. I'm very excited. It's one of the most exciting events that I've had an opportunity to be involved in a long time. So it's going to be
you two are going to have something very cool with that.
Very stupid, very, very stupid, which is right on brand for us. So, so what's going on there at the old ranch, at the shop? It's done now. Yeah, it's pretty incredible. I have to say, for those who don't know, that you've literally more or less by yourself. A little bit of help now and then, but more or less by yourself, from the ground up, built a brand new shop facility there at the ranch. And it's fantastic. I have to say, it's really a wonderful building. Looks like a great shop space, looks really, really useful, really fun. And it's just been so much fun watching you, slowly overcome your fear of heights and then build this thing by hand. It's fantastic. It's like an Amish barn raising over there. Really, really fantastic.
Oh, it's been a blast. I had virtually zero construction experience before tackling that, so it's been a 2-year learning process, but worth it along the way. A lot of skills gained, but I mean, it was an undertaking.
Yeah.
And I'm 5'6". I like to be close to the ground, and there was points where I had to be 30 feet in the air to hang the trusses and stuff, and that just doesn't sit well with me. But it is better now. It is better.
Yeah. Nothing like facing your fear. Hey, maybe you go into the pole barn industry. I've seen a lot shittier pole barns created by people who do that for a living. It was a great space.
Well, that's actually part of the reason why I took it on. I'm particular in different areas, and no one's going to care about your stuff as much as you care about. So it was nice to do it the way I wanted. And a nice clean slate shop is always fun. Yeah. Electrical's in the right spot. Everything's wired up the way you want. Now I'm very excited that it is now in a place to just finally work on the Land Rovers, because there have been a stack of them piling up that got thrown to the wayside while I was doing the shelter for them.
So what's the update on the fleet there? First of all, how Where's the Nada sitting in the stack right now? What are your plans for that car? Obviously, those are near and dear to my heart. I do have a spare engine if you need it. I do. Yeah.
Okay, because I need some internals for a 2.6, and that's what kind of the hold up. During the pandemic, I had some lined up overseas, and then that just kind of blew apart when everything. So I just kind of put on the wayside.
I think 50% of those Nada engines are on an engine stand somewhere in someone's garage or storage facility.
Oh, I believe it. Yeah, because mine has the original engine. It's just taken apart with an air hammer shade.
Would you describe it as chooched? My favorite.
It is chooched.
Yeah, it's chooched. Yeah,
but the engine was chooched. Yeah. And Ted has the Chevy inline six swapped into his, which was There's probably more of those with that than the original engine.
I think that's right. I think there is. Yeah, I think there is for sure. And especially a well-running, not a 6-cylinder engine is, it's a rooster teeth sort of situation because man, they're hard to keep running, but well worth it. They're fun.
So
there was just one on Bring a Trailer, wasn't there? That just sold. I think
I missed that one.
I think it had its original engine. I mean, it was very original, but like original it was a nice car, but like very, very original and not necessarily stored or anything, just sort of like
was original
left to sit. Yeah. So I think there's some work to be done on that car, but yeah, they're neat. I don't think it had any paint left on it or any of that sort of stuff, but those are great cars.
Okay, all right. Yeah.
Oh, it'd be fine. Yeah. You get that going.
Yeah. And after driving Ted's 88 inch around the last couple of events, it's kind of lit a fire under getting that one going because it is. I mean, it's quite the experience. I'm more of a mid 90s to early 2000s Land Rover collector of sorts.
Yep.
So back in the 60s, that's quite the experience. And
it's great, and I have to say the Nada 6 is one of my favorite Land Rovers to drive any distance. Because the engine revs high and it lets you actually get somewhere at a reasonable speed. I have overdrive in mine, which is the only non-factory thing, but because I use it, you sort of have to have that. And man, it just hums along. It's super comfortable. It drives like a dream. It doesn't really stop, even though it's got those crazy power brakes and stuff. But it's really a lot of fun to drive. It's a great car, super comfortable, it's got enough power to actually do something with it. And it's a good one. Doesn't quite have the charm of an 80-inch, but you can actually go somewhere in it, so that's,
it's useful outside of being around other Land Rover Series trucks. Because that's what I found was neat. We had 20-minute drive to get from the hotel to the Millennium Green where the winter romp was. And it was nice following another series truck because when you're out with modern vehicles, it can be a little scary. Whereas if you're just going around with someone who has the same power, same brakes, it's very comfortable.
It is. It's comfortable. How about the Eco Challenge car? How's that running these days? I love that car. I think it's super cool.
I love it too. That one is coming up for a little bit of modification by necessity. What I actually like to use, it does get off-roaded and wheeled quite a bit. And after the last outing, it has developed a rod knock, which is less than ideal. Mm-hmm. But it does have 225,000 miles. And like I said, we like to use it. Yeah.
Yeah, you're going to have that, yeah.
But the good news, I'll let you guys in on what's going to happen. I have a 4.6 liter Callaway engine.
Oh, yes, of course. Right.
And then I have a 5-speed swap from another Discovery. So it will be a little less original, better.
That's going to be a great car. I really like that XD package. I've always been a huge fan. I think it was a US spec only kind of thing, those XD cars. And it was just a really neat thing that Land Rover would do back then. There was a dry period for a long time now with the Defender, I think, and Trek editions and things like that, and obviously Justin's work on those and stuff. It's really come around to kind of shades of where it was in the 90s. But man, back then with those kind of crazy editions and things and the G4 editions of cars and things, and it was really neat. It was really neat. It's too bad that went away for such a long time.
Yeah, because it is. I mean, that is neat to think about it. I'm too young, really remember that era in period, but to think that you could go to a Land Rover dealer and get the XD when everything else out on the road is nothing like that. And you could just go get
a brush
a
bar
yellow
and a roof rack. bright yellow and had all the stickers on it. And
Just had to be
was
wild.
so cool.
Yeah.
It was so cool. I remember taking one for a test drive from Land Rover in Calgary and getting it stuck in a snowbank. And having to, yeah, and then having to like have somebody like pull us out of the snowbank and then bring it back to the dealer and be like, yeah, I don't think I'm interested, but there's a bit of snow underneath it. Just don't. It's fine. Don't worry about it.
I mean, it would have been, you would have bought it if it wouldn't have got stuck.
That's right. Exactly.
Yeah,
Yes, that's exactly right. Well, and I think they had my Defender, so I think they would have been fine if I didn't come back with the XD. Just keep it. That's fine.
It would have worked out.
Yeah, I think it was an upgrade there. And then finally, how about maybe my favorite car? I don't know. I have this one on the key fob of my trailer, but how about the Range Rover camper conversion? How's that guy coming along?
That's by far my favorite. I like to joke that the Freelander is my favorite Land Rover, but this Range Rover with the camper conversion.
Of all the camper conversions you have, definitely your favorite.
Oh, yeah. Just of Land Rovers, I can sleep on the queen bed inside. That's the one. So that's for those of you who don't know what it is, it's a 95 wheelbase Range Rover that has a 76 Toyota Sunraider camper shell grafted onto the back of it.
Amazing.
The rear door is still open. That's the access to the water tanks and the battery bank. It drove down to the country of Panama at one point in time in its life before we owned it. Ted and I bought it on Bring a Trailer, flew out to Montana, meandered our way back to Iowa through Yellowstone and everything with it. And it was one of the coolest trips ever. Right now, there's nothing really wrong with it, but I am currently putting a set of 1-ton Chevy 8-lug axles underneath of it. And mainly for the track. So it has the factory Rover axles and it's got a very negative offset wheel, so scrub radius and everything. And load on bearings is less than ideal the way it's set up now. The unique way that we're doing it is going to run as much of the factory style suspension setup on these axles. I'm not doing a custom 4-link or anything crazy. It's going to essentially, as much as we can, size-wise, bolt it up to the factory mounting locations. So that is currently in progress. And then it's going back to its original color scheme. And then it's going on a West Coast trip.
Can't wait, man. Oh, man, it's going to be so good. I love that thing. I mean, it does look like if you went around a corner even a little bit too fast, it would start rolling and never stop. But it is the coolest. Like, I think that should have been a conversion. It's so cool. It, like, makes total sense. It's about the right length. It's about proportionally, it looks right,
And it is really neat. It's got a toilet, so it's actually a usable a period of time. Yeah, it will fit underneath a 10-foot garage door right now, which is nice for how big the camper shell actually is on the back of it. And the rolling over aspect, it does feel a little tippy, but we took it through some mountain passes and everything, and it didn't unnerve you at all. It does move side to side. It's bound to. But that's also the reason why I don't want to mess with the suspension aspect of it. It actually really works the way it is, and I don't want to mess that up.
And don't mess that up. But the wider track width will certainly help with a little more stability and
along with a better brake option.
Yeah, and I can't imagine that thing is light, even though that thing is it's a fiberglass shell, right? It's got to add a little bit of curb weight to that car.
I'm sure.
Yeah, it's super cool. Well, I can't wait to have you out here and to go do some rock crawling in that thing. Well, we have somebody sleeping in the back. I think that's a great video. It's a cool stable of cars out there. One of these days, Ike and I got to get out. We got to do some kind of a project or something.
We'll figure something out.
To do it. I'd love to do it. But thanks for the time today, Joe. It's always a pleasure to sit and chat with you because, man, you've got so much cool stuff going on out there and channel's doing fantastic. How many subs are you up to now? You've got a huge audience there.
We're at 19,000. Right?
19,000? That's incredible. That's incredible.
In the world of Land Rovers, that's a lot of people, I guess.
That's huge. No, that's fantastic.
It's been fun, and it's been a real fun journey, and it's been a big motivating factor to get some of the projects and the shop and everything. Meeting everyone along from the channel, and that's why we're trying to make the rounds around the country to meet all what I like to call my internet friends.
That's exactly right. The Lost Cause Army. Well, we're definitely loyal members here, and keep it up because we love watching the show and love seeing what you're getting up to out there. And I don't know, maybe we'll do a live show from a Menards or something. We'll have to figure it out.
I could arrange that.
I feel like there's sponsorship opportunity there that you could follow up on. I'm just saying, if we can land Nando's, anything's possible. So maybe go after Menards. Might be worthwhile. But well, until then, stay well. Look very forward to hopefully seeing you soon. Hopefully we get you on the show again, or possibly permanently replace Ike if he's been killed by some type of tribe or group or
monkeys
troop or whatever. Then we'll give you a call.
It's been a pleasure.
Thanks, Joe. The Underpowered Hour is produced by Liza Beres, Ike Goss, and me, Steve Beres. Pavel Svardov composed and performed our theme music. Consider supporting the show on Patreon, and if you already do, thank you. Your support makes the show possible. For even more, check out our Instagram or Facebook.